Hello everybody, it's Matt Anderson from The Road Not Taken, and the topic today for 3 things I did outside my comfort zone this week. The first one relates to one of the people I interviewed for my podcast, and he's the author of this book, and his name's Mike Maddock. And to be succinct, I think the reason I suppose I was more apprehensive about talking to him was because of the incredibly impressive things he's accomplished, the level of success he's reached. He consults with some of the largest corporations in the world, speaks to large audiences, has written numerous books, and knows the type of people that I anticipate meeting and knowing in upcoming years, but sort of I wish I knew who he knew. And the reason I'm sharing it also is because I assume everybody has people like this in their world that they are apprehensive about talking to for whatever reason, and I suppose at some level it's like I'm not as worthy as they are, or something like that, or they're more successful than I am, and so that was one of those people for me. So I was restless the night before. Anyway, point being, it was outside my comfort zone, and we had a fantastic interview, and I'm excited about it coming out. I thought it was absolutely outstanding conversation we had. So the action item again for you would be sort of think about who's somebody that you're apprehensive about talking to, or would get those butterflies going, and have that conversation anyway. Make sure you schedule it. Like, that's the key. Do it anyway. The second thing for me doesn't sound like something I did specifically, but I noticed that resistance and discomfort showed up in different ways. So it showed up in my body in the last week in terms of I had a bit of a cold, I had some hip and back problems, I had these ulcers in my mouth. I mean, it was crazy. It was as if my body was scared about the things I'm doing and was protesting. In fact, I'm quite sure that that's part of it. Anyway, it may not have been all of it, but I do think it was a big part of it. And so I'm proud in the sense that I battled through that, because I don't know, I could have been scared by it and backed off and become timid again. And I think, again, the point here is again, for many of us, our bodies will do this, will find a way to protest and give us a headache or backache or something like that, and somehow persuade us to be more timid. So look out for those signs, and I suppose that's the action item. And if anything is, keep moving forward and doing what you really, really want to do, and understand that, your body's going to send you signals as if to say, you sure you're on the right course here, because you are going in a different direction, and it's scaring some parts of us. And then the third thing that was uncomfortable for me was I'm sort of starting to put together a list of topics for upcoming masterminds and courses that I'm going to be running, and part of that included sort of topics, and one of those topics that was about bad habits, I suppose, about almost addiction, negative addictions that we might have. An addiction might be too strong of a word for you, but I think I think it's fair to say just about everybody has some habits, or 1 or 2 habits, that probably don't serve them. And, that was a very uncomfortable thing for me to talk about. And the ironic thing was I wasn't talking to any audience. I was actually just recording an audio, but it was still chronically uncomfortable for me to talk about a porn addiction. As you can see, not an easy topic to talk about. And yet, although ironically, like it's some big secret, the numbers of online views for pornography are completely, ridiculous. I mean, it's like, I don't even want to make them up. But if you Googled for statistics on it, it's like it would be the most popular sport or pastime of this, certainly in the United States, but probably in many countries, of what people are doing with their viewing time online. Of course, no one's talking about it. But for me, again, I don't need to go into all the details now, but what I do want to draw your attention to is to have yourself look in the mirror and say, what is it that I might be doing? Whether it's, even comfort food, can fit into that. That when you're tired and stressed, you put really unhealthy food in your body, and that has very, negative impact on you if you keep doing it over and over, which many people do, and they end up putting on another 10 or 20 pounds, and that's on the milder side. I mean, hopefully it's not drinking or gambling or something, more pernicious in some ways, although again, I don't want to sound like a judge here. I'm simply saying we must be really honest with ourselves about what am I doing? And just to come back to myself here, when I think about it, the reason why I decided, even though I did not want to talk about this on the video at all, because, I guess it's embarrassing or whatever, the reason it matters and the reason it is worth sharing is because it's something that creates incongruence in our lives. It's incongruent with who we really want to be and how we want to spend our time. We feel badly about ourselves for doing it, which of course is negative in every area. It's negative for the people around us, but it also has a bad domino effect in terms of us accomplishing anything noble and valuable in our lives. It steals energy that we could otherwise filter towards something much more positive. And then also we lose control. We give up control to something else. So I can't look anyone in the eye and pretend it's remotely easy at all. However, if we really want to be, do, and have more in life, then something has to change, and that might be the hardest thing for you. So, and it's certainly been extremely difficult for me. So those are my 3 things outside my comfort zone. And again, the action item on this last one would be to look in the mirror and sort of reflect on some kind of bad habit that you have, or whether it's around nutrition or something you put in your body or something else that you're doing that's not congruent with the person that you most want to be and do in life. Matt Anderson, The Road Not Taken.